Hi, welcome to 5 Days of Yoga. I'm Dr. Christine. Come to the top of your mat and stand in a tall mountain pose. Your spine is tall and your posture is upright. Inhale your arms high up overhead and do a swan dive into a forward fold, giving yourself a generous bend in the knees for your first forward fold today. Let gravity allow your torso to hinge from the hips. Inhale now into a halfway lift, and exhale your hands to the mat and step back into a high plank. A modification is to place your knees on the ground. Now go from high plank to low plank, and then push yourself up into an upward facing dog, and then push yourself back into a downward facing dog. Pause here in a moment in your downward facing dog and pedal out your legs. Step yourself up to the top of the mat, take a forward fold, and now a halfway lift. Forward fold one more time, and then rise up into your mountain pose, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale your hands to the mat, come into a high plank, and then a low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale as you push back into downward facing dog. All 10 fingers pressing into the mat, bum pressing up to the sky. Step up to the top of your mat again, take a halfway lift, and then a forward fold. Rise up, mountain pose, arms overhead. Now step yourself into a crescent lunge. Left foot in front, right foot in back, press the right heel to the back of the room. See if you can't get your left thigh parallel to your mat. Now open up to Warrior Two. Gaze is over the front left hand. Cartwheel your hands back down to the mat from a high plank to a low plank. Press into upward facing dog and then downward facing dog. Step up to the top of the mat again. Take a halfway lift and then a forward fold. Rise up, mountain pose. And we'll do crescent lunge on the other side. Right foot forward, left foot back. Press that left heel to the back of the room. Don't let your right knee track over your toes. Right thigh is as close to parallel to the ground as you can get it. Now open up to a Warrior Two. On the next exhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat. Go to high plank and then low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high to the sky. Open up that hip and bend the right knee so your hips are facing the long side of the mat. Now return to a three-legged dog. Step your right foot forward and come into a crescent lunge again. Bend your back knee and dip it down to the mat slowly. Again, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now hands to mat, come into a high plank, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale your left leg high to the sky, bend the left knee and open up the hips to face the side edge of your mat. Return to your three-legged dog. Now bring your left foot forward, come into crescent lunge with the bent right knee, and again we'll dip down to the mat slowly, lowering and raising. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Hands to mat, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Notice how your breathing has changed. Keep it steady if you can. Now come into tabletop position. We're going to work the glutes. Hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Bend the right knee and keep lifting that right heel up to the sky. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push back into a downward facing dog for a reset. And get ready for half pigeon. Bring your right foot up toward the left hand and right knee toward the right hand. Give yourself a nice little lift in the spine before you hinge forward from the hips to eventually rest your forehead either on the mat or on your hands or on a yoga block. Make sure both hips are pointing down into the mat. Push your chest up off the floor and now push back into a downward facing dog again. Now come into tabletop and we'll work the glutes on the opposite side, pulsing the left foot up toward the sky. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Push yourself back into a downward facing dog again for a reset. Now we'll do half pigeon on the opposite side with the left leg forward. Start with a tall spine facing the top end of your mat and gradually lower the torso down to the mat, forehead on your hands or the mat or a yoga block. Point your breath toward your hip in this position. Go ahead and push yourself back up with a tall spine. And let's take a wide-legged child's pose. Knees on the outer edges of each mat, fingertips reaching for the top of the mat, forehead resting on the mat. Press your tailbone down to your heels. Take a moment here to catch your breath. Go ahead and push out of your child's pose and come to sit on your mat. We're going to take shoelace. In shoelace, begin with a cross-legged position. Keep your core engaged and your spine tall. Cross your right thigh on top of the left thigh and have both your thighs and knees pointing straight ahead. And now take an arm bind, reaching up and behind you with the right arm and down and behind you with the left arm, and see if you can't touch your fingertips behind your back. Keep your spine lifted tall and gaze straight ahead. Begin to unwind from your shoelace, and now we'll take a single leg forward fold with the right leg stretched out in front of you. Inhale your arms high overhead, have a tall, long spine, and now hinge forward from the hips, reaching for the outer edge of that right foot. Bend your forehead down toward your knee. Push yourself up out of your forward fold, and we'll set up for shoelace on the opposite side. This time, left thigh stacked on top of the right. Give yourself a little lift up on the hips if it helps you stack your legs better. Both knees and thighs are pointing straight ahead. Spine is tall. Now reach up and over with your left arm, down and under with the right, and see if you can't touch those fingertips behind your back. Keep your spine tall and your gaze straight ahead. Keep breathing. This one's intense. Okay, unwind from your shoelace, and we'll do single leg forward fold with the left leg outstretched in front of us. Inhale your arms up high. And now one vertebral segment at a time, hinge forward from the waist, reaching for the outer edge of that left foot, and eventually dropping your forehead down toward your knee. Push up out of your single leg forward fold and sit on your mat comfortably, cross-legged or whichever position you prefer. Take hands in prayer position in front of your heart and thank yourself for coming to your mat today. Namaste, my friends. All right, thanks for being here. Before you leave, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you'll know when I go live or when a new video drops. And visit me at ChristineBreadstreet.com. Love to y'all. Bye-bye. See you soon.